Ash Wednesday was today as Christians took to Mass to observe. We tell you what the city of Kent did this year.
Over 10 people were shot today at a Kansas City Chiefs victory parade. TV2 has the latest developments on the mass shooting.
If you were wondering what the weather was like outside, then you're in luck. I've got the hourly forecast and the statewide temperatures coming up.
And a new study has been released about smoking and the effects it has on your immune system. We give you the details on these stories and more as TV2 News at 6 starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Matt Corrali.
And I'm Hayden Cruz.
Pleasure to be with you, Hayden. Thank you for having us in your homes tonight. And it's a big one. Valentine's Day, we've got the color coding going on.
Yes, we do.
But a lot of people out there may not know that Valentine's Day is not the only holiday going on.
Not at all, Matt. So, Ash Wednesday took place today as Christians took to churches to celebrate the start of the Lent season.
TV2's own Nikki Gasiewski has more on what this holiday means. Good evening, Nikki.
Good evening, guys. Today marks the first time in 6 years that Ash Wednesday lands on Valentine's Day. The next time this will happen will be in 2029. For now, let's expand on the religious holiday. Ash Wednesday marks the first day of Lent for Western churches. Lent is the 40 days that lead up to Easter when practitioners engage in prayer, penance, and fasting, which dates back to the 5th century. Christians observe today by putting ashes on their forehead to serve as a reminder of scripture passages. Until Easter, which is March 31st, Christians will give up certain things to fast during the Lent season. Now taking things local, our producer and TV2's Josh Aponte visited some churches in the Kent area to see how they observe Ash Wednesday.
Wednesday was not only Valentine's Day, but was also Ash Wednesday for a majority of Christians around the world. Lent is a 40-day season of fasting leading up to Easter Sunday. Catholics who celebrate could go to Mass to receive the sign of the cross with ashes on their forehead. On Kent State's campus, students could get their ashes at the University Parish Newman Center. Father David Brindling presided over the Mass and says that it was great to see such a big turnout.
I was surprised that we have so many people here at Mass this afternoon, and I'm grateful that they came. I'm grateful to you for making sure you saw those who came to Mass, and that you're able to witness for yourself the number of people who came to Mass this afternoon.
With the Lenten season beginning today, many students, including myself, attended Mass here at the Newman Center to receive their ashes.
It was really awesome to see so many people here. I just think it's wonderful that even though this is like a penitential season, meaning that, we're sacrificing and we're reflecting on maybe the things we've done wrong in our lives, that so many people still want to come back and they still want to be able to repent and just have that awesome opportunity to just be with the Lord today.
Well, it's very important. It's very inspiring. I'm glad that a lot of people came, and I hope that they truly do take on their Lenten devotionals, and I hope that they have success.
The church priests emphasize the importance of Ash Wednesday for all Catholics on campus.
This is an opportunity to not sort of neglect our spiritual fitness or that inclination. We want to transcend. We want and realize that there's something beyond ourselves that we could live for, and that gives us purpose and meaning in life.
For TV2 News, I'm Josh Aponte.
Well, that's all I have for today. For these stories and more, check out KentWire.com. I'm Nikki Gasiewski reporting for TV2 News.
All right, Nikki, thank you so much. Well, on this Valentine's Day, the university is celebrating the holiday, and they're getting creative while doing it. Tonight at 8:30, instructors at the Kent State Rec Center will put on a special spin cycle class that will have a glow-in-the-dark theme to it. Registration is required, and teachers are asking for those wanting to come to bring a food and personal hygiene item for donation so that they can get a punch on their punch card to win prizes at the end of the semester.
Looking to ice skate with your date? Well, you can tonight at College Late Night Skate at the Ice Arena. Skating starts at 9:30 and goes until 11 and costs $5, non-cash payments only. Students need their KSU ID to skate, and guests can accompany students but must be 18 years old and have a valid ID. Admission sales will begin 30 minutes prior to the session start time. The next College Late Night Skate will be next Wednesday from 10 to 11:30 p.m.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Michael Neenan here to tell you about what it's like outside. Because currently in Kent it is 31 degrees, but it feels like it's 25 degrees with a dew point of 17 degrees as well. Now the wind is traveling north to northwest at around 5 miles an hour with humidity at around 50%. And I am more than happy to report that the visibility is at a full 10 miles. Now let's take a look at the weather for the next 12 hours or so, because at 8 p.m. tonight, it will be 27 degrees with clear skies, midnight at 24 degrees, but there will be a lot more clouds, and it will be around the same at 8 a.m. It's going to be very cold all night in the 20s. You may get some freeze, you may get some frost too on your cars. Be sure to get out early just to accommodate for that. Could give you an extra, 5 minutes or so. Now for those in the back who weren't listening, for tonight and tomorrow, it's going to get as low as 23 degrees. It's going to be very cloudy. It's going to be a waxing crescent moon tonight, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. There will be clouds here and there, but you should be able to see the moon fairly well. Wind will be traveling southeast at around 6 miles an hour, and the sun, it's already set. It's set at 5:57 p.m. So it's already dark out already, and it will be pretty dark pretty soon. After all, it is February. We're not getting a lot of daylight now, but thankfully daylight savings won't be a thing anymore. So maybe that'll fix some things, but that's all the time I have for now. Stay tuned though, because we will get to look at the 7-day forecast and check out those statewide temperatures. Back to you, Matt.
All right, Michael. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing that waxing crescent moon. Well, earlier today on the second floor at the University Library, a meeting was held in an effort to talk about fair redistricting in the state of Ohio. The speaker was Sherry Rose, as she is the president of the Kent chapter at the Women League of Voters, as she discussed the traditional history of redistricting in the country, its impact, and proposed an initiative onto how better redistrict the Buckeye State.
Last year, Issue 1 covering abortion rights passed in Ohio. However, many GOP Republicans are still opposed to the rights to abortion. Congressional candidate Reggie Stoltzfus, who has claimed to be 100% pro-life, is fighting against Issue 1. In a campaign ad, Stoltzfus said he commits to do all he can to protect innocent life. Ohio Right to Life, an anti-abortion group, released its list of endorsements, including Stoltzfus and his opponent, Senator Michael Neenan.
A federal judge has kept Ohio's social media parental consent law on hold as a court challenge will now occur. It was initially put on hold a month ago, as the law would require websites that serve children to get verifiable consent from a parent before allowing those 16 years and under to join. Backers of the law say that this would protect children from events like cyberbullying and interactions with predators from happening.
United States Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas has been at the center of an impeachment. We've got the update for you coming up next.
And in North Carolina, a movement wanting to get rid of a drug that is similar to opioids. We tell you more and where it can be found.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
We welcome you back with some breaking news coming into our Franklin Hall studio in Kent. It was a day that was supposed to be in celebration in Kansas City because of the Chiefs Super Bowl parade, but now it has led to disaster and heartbreak.
The latest reports say that 10 people were shot and taken to the hospital. Officials have not yet released the current conditions. 2 people who were armed have been detained. Go to KentWire.com to keep up with this developing story.
Well, for the first time in nearly 150 years, a member of the cabinet will face an impeachment trial. That's after a largely party-line vote in the House last night.
Amy Kiley has more on what happens next.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas faces a trial in the Senate. That's after the House impeached him by a single vote yesterday. Republicans accused Mayorkas of violating immigration laws.
The Senate really ought to take seriously the message that was sent is that we're serious about securing the border, and the Secretary's failed to do his job.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is signaling the impeachment trial will be brief. Democrats control the chamber and are likely to acquit Mayorkas. Many legal experts say the evidence doesn't reach the high bar for impeachment. One of 3 House Republicans who voted against impeaching Mayorkas says he agrees.
I prosecuted for 25 years. I know what a high crime and misdemeanor are, and I know that this doesn't qualify. This is a policy difference.
Representative Ken Buck also argues impeachment should be bipartisan to maintain public trust in Congress.
We need to take the temperature down.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says instead of voting on Mayorkas, Congress should be voting on border legislation. Republicans say they'd like that if Democrats met all their demands. Jeffries argues a Senate bill that meets some of them is better than nothing.
It's urgently necessary that we act in America's national security to bring this bipartisan bill to the floor.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Federal judges and prosecutors have seen an amount of threats against them more than double in the past 3 years. The number of federal judges who received serious threats rose to 457 in 2023, up from 300 the year before, according to the U.S. Marshals Service. Federal prosecutors who were targets of threats also saw numbers double, from 68 in 2021 to 155 in 2023. These threats considered serious enough to warrant an investigation by the Marshals Service, which is responsible for protecting federal judges and court staff.
Welcome back. Wind grows, grass blows, and I'm ready to check in on those statewide temperatures. I don't know about you, but not before we check out some weather patterns in the area, because in the Sandusky area it is 32 degrees, Mansfield around 33 as well. As we go east, Worcester is 34, Cuyahoga County is in the low 30s, and as we go to east, Kent is currently 31, and down in Stark County, it is about 34 degrees. Up here in the Mahoning Valley, it is 33, and Ashtabula on the lake is a frigid 30 degrees. Now let's take a look at the temperatures across all of Ohio, going from west to east. Once again, in the Toledo area, it is in the high 30s, but as you go south, it gets to the mid 40s, especially Dayton, Cincinnati, and northern Kentucky. Middle of Ohio is also in the low 40s, but as usual, eastern Ohio, it's all weird thanks to that lake effect, because in Akron it is 33, Steubenville 36, and in Athens, Ohio, it is 41 degrees. But I say we take a look at those weekly forecasts. So now, as we go into that on Thursday, expect some showers actually. It'll be in the mid 40s down to the high 20s even. It will be very windy, and there will be some showers in the afternoon. Be sure to prepare for that. But on Friday, it will be cloudy, not any rain, thankfully, but it will be really in the mid 30s. And later in the week, you will get some rain, but it's all the time I have for now. As I always say, if the weather is the worst news you've gotten, then I'd say you're having a pretty good day. I've been Michael Neenan. Let's get back to the news.
Yep, there's a reason why we call him the People's Weatherman. Thank you, Michael. Thousands of drivers for ride-sharing and food delivery services in America and the United Kingdom are expected to strike on Valentine's Day. The strike is over pay and working conditions disputes. In the U.S., the campaign group Justice for App Workers plans to stop giving rides to and from all airports in 10 select cities for 2 hours Wednesday. Lyft says the company is constantly working to improve the driver experience.
Flight attendants in both the U.S. and U.K. are protesting for the Worldwide Flight Attendant Day of Action. In the U.S., flight attendants in more than 30 cities picketed outside major airports to fight for better wages, which haven't been raised in several years. 3 airline unions are continuing to fight for fair wages after pilots received a raise last year. Federal law makes it hard for airline unions to legally strike. As federal mediators, the president and Congress can block or delay the strikes.
Now, taking things health related, a new study found smoking's effects on the immune system can last up to years. Smoking rates have been declining since the 60s, but it is still the leading cause of preventable death in the U.S., killing more than 480,000 people a year. The study was published today in the journal Nature, and it found smoking decreases the body's ability to fight off infection immediately and over time.
A movement in North Carolina plans to get rid of a drug that officials say mimics the effects of opioids. Gas station heroin, or tianeptine, is used as an antidepressant in some other countries. But here, it's not regulated by any government agency, and there's no minimum age requirements, so it's gaining popularity with teens. It's found at gas stations and vape shops under the name Zaza.
If you check the calendar, today is February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day. We tell you the history of the holiday and why people love the Day of Love.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
What's going on, Portage County? Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Della Fowler, and on the topic of love, one of our athletes here at Kent State got some from the Mid-American Conference. Let me tell you about it. For the third time in her career, Alyssa Guns has been named MAC Specialist of the Week. Guns has scored a 9.9 or higher on the floor 3 times this season and leads the MAC with a 9.890 average in the event. She had an outstanding meet against NIU, putting up a pair of 9.925s on the beam and floor. She helped the Flashes get to their 3rd highest score in team program history with a final score of 196.925. And shifting from the floor to the green, the Kent State men's golf team placed 12th out of 14 teams that played for the past 2 days at the Hal Williams Collegiate, hosted by the University of South Alabama. Jordan Gilkinson was the Golden Flash's top finisher, tying for 36 out of 80 competitors. Head coach John Mills said, obviously disappointing in the result, struggled on the greens definitely not the start we wanted, but you have to self-reflect and use this as motivation for the next event, and that they will. The Flashes hope to bounce back on the road at the Dorado Beach Classic in Dorado, Puerto Rico, much warmer than here, in about 2 weeks. And now we'll shift to the NHL world. Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau has committed to donating $1,000 to Ohio Health Foundation for each point he scores for the rest of the season. His teammate Patrick Laine also made the same commitment to donate earlier in the year. The announcement, which was made earlier today on Blue Jackets' social media pages, comes after Laine entered the NHLPA Players Assistance Program, citing personal mental health as the reason. Fans who like to support the players' efforts can visit bluejackets.com/GaudreauGivesBack. And speaking of that team of the hour, we will take it now to the highlights. Blue Jackets will be taking on the Senators on the road in Canada, And here we go. Kent Johnson through the zone, and Voronkov is going to be the guy to tip it in, making it 1-0 Jackets. Voronkov has been fabulous this year on the Russian line for the Jackets. Senators now on the man advantage. Giroux is going to fake Tarasov to the other side of the net, leaving it wide open for Tkachuk, and we are all tied up pretty early on, though. Lots to go. Tkachuk again through the neutral zone, 2-on-1 developing, and the finesse finding the rebound. The captain's got a twofer, and it's only the first. Jackets on the man advantage now. We're in the wrong zone, though. It's Valentine's Day. Be sure to give your shorty a call because we have a shorty. Jackets shooting similarly, but they can't make anything stick. Well, except for Captain Boone Jenner, of course, fresh off the All-Star break, Boone. And passing from defenseman to defenseman. The guy who's going to get it in, though, his name's Jack Rokslevik, and he loves Columbus, Ohio. Chipping away, Jackets need one more to tie it up, push overtime. Ottawa back on the power play. But as this play winds up, take your hat and remove it off of your head and throw it with all of your might onto the ice. Hat trick for the captain, Tkachuk, Kaching. Senators take it 6-3 final. And that is all the time we have for today. I'm Della Fowler. Spread the love, Portage County.
Love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day, and it's not just a holiday for significant others. Another reason why people love it so much is that you can show affection to friends, family, and of course your pets. Valentine's Day is believed to have started long ago. It derived from the feast for the patron saint, Valentine. Historians tell the story of one saint who married couples in secret to prevent men from going to war, and in the 1400s, the day became associated with romance. And real quick, I just want to say happy Valentine's Day to my girlfriend Emmy. If she's watching, I love you, and I can't wait to see you tonight. So
happy Valentine's Day, Mom.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. You got anything going on tonight?
Homework.
Attaboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will be doing it well. So
there you go. Nice.
Very
Perfect.
excited for
Perfect.
that. Yeah.
I was going to say, being in this journalism field, you got a lot of homework, a lot of papers, a lot of stories.
Got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Got to tell the people what they want to know.
This isn't just at 6 o'clock. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Well, that will wrap it up for us on this Valentine's Day edition of TV2 News. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwire.com. I'm Hayden Cruz.
And I'm Matt Corrali. Have a great night, Portage County.